Hi there, this is Anaiis Salles, and I don't know if you can see me or not. I hope you can see me. If you can't see my face, it doesn't really matter. What I wanted to do though was to shift up the perspective because there's lots of change going on in my life, and I wanted to take the opportunity to say to say hello. And now that the weather has cooled off, I can be more comfortably dressed in front of the camera. It has just been so hot where I live that being in front of the camera wasn't a good idea. So I hope you don't mind the microphone. I'm actually using a video camera. I'm not using a fancy phone to record my intuitive readings. So anyway, this is me. I'm Anaiis, Patreon Sage on YouTube, and I do have a Patreon page, which I'll talk more about in a minute. So my intuitive readings are focused entirely on sacred union, and those who are on the sacred union journey are aware of this, have been doing their deep interpersonal work for a long time, years. It takes years to prepare for this. And the context of the readings are what's happening in the union energy, the current energies that are changing. They're changing constantly, and I consider myself a translator. I can read energy and then I can translate it into words, and the language I speak in, generally speaking, is English. I can also communicate in energy. But for these readings, these are intuitive. It's a freestyle jazz. I don't have a particular recognized structure because I don't read traditional tarot. So no Celtic cross, I just don't do any of that. I am using the card images to help translate the energy into language, and then adding an additional communication field, so that some of this information may speak to all of your integrated minds, subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds, which is what we're integrating as part of the sacred union journey. It's a very complex, very dynamic journey. So if you've stopped by before, thank you. If you're new, welcome. As you see here, I have 3 cards. I have 3 eggs here. This egg symbolizes the divine feminine energy. This egg symbolizes source energy, and this egg symbolizes divine masculine energy. And when I reference those energies, they're not gender specific. So cross-translate them as is appropriate for your circumstance. So this will be a reading that has an extended reading to it. Often I will do as long as an hour and a half video that is just simply, here it is, boom, and I don't divide it up into an extended reading. But when that wants to happen, the current energies are really clear about the way the information needs to be organized. And so I translate as one would be a good translator at the intergalactic UN, so to speak. So I have, as I always do, I have meditated, I have pre-shuffled, I have asked questions. I have often, the current energies will present a theme that is woven within the information, and then I'm to translate the current theme as best I can. So that being said, I'm going to take a minute again to look at the cards so I can see where the break will come for the extended reading. No worries, you won't have to watch this. I will edit it. All right, I've looked at the spread, and the center energy of the spread is the call and answering the call. So this spread is about how the sacred union is answering the call of the divine. And the emphasis on this card reading will be how the divine feminine is allowing herself to be supported by divine masculine energy as she is completing a very powerful and dynamic timeline, past lives, multi-personality, global implications, timelined, and soul wound that has required a very long, substantial period of healing and rest and rebuilding trust in herself and in humanity, and most particularly in the masculine energy embodied as a male human being. So divine feminines, in a way, the reading emphasis will be on looking at your situation and looking at the resolution and an outcome that is exit stage left karma. Divine masculine, this will also be your reading because you feature prominently in this reading, and I'll show you how the divine masculine energies are here. We have first out, we have King of Air, so this is communication, this is frequency, organizing information into thoughts and planning and action. And then we have next the Magician. For me, I have changed the name of that card to Conscious Co-Creator. And here is the divine masculine energy taking this process of communication and planning and action and understanding through the element of air and thoughts and translating it into working with the elements of the earth that are available to reflect what we are co-creating back to us. So the Magician has the wisdom and the capacity and the experience and the knowledge to manifest. The co-creator has those skills as well, but the choice is to be a co-creator aligned with Source, that lives in the circle of life, that is not involved in magic or hierarchy or in schools of thought that are not aligned with Source co-creation. And then lastly, we have out the Emperor. So there's strong masculine energy in this reading. So divine masculine, this is you. This may be, if you identify that way, this may be a reading that you want to pay attention to, especially now because we are coming in the end of the week. Another news cycle will open up. The moon is a portal, the sun is a portal, and we are just beginning to understand the energies of those portals, and some people subscribe to the school of thought where those portals align with astrological information. I am not one of those people. For me, the portals align with ascension gates and dimensional and multi-density information. So that may be new for you, I don't know, but if you're interested, you can certainly message me or email me, and I'd be happy to answer a specific question that you have. So there is quite a bit of masculine energy in this reading. So where is the divine feminine within the reading here? Here we have her. She is in hermit mode. She is feeling deeply into all the perspectives of the karmic timeline cycle. She's letting go, and that she really has had to first heal from her own personal perspective. and then she had to heal it from the global collective perspective. And in that process, she was very busy integrating and unifying her inner feminine and inner masculine energies. There's an airplane. I don't know whether you can hear it or not. So in this hermit mode, she is being quiet and still and listening again to the call. What is the call for her? What is the call for her beloved? What is the call of their mission? What is the call right now of where they need to align if they've been out of alignment? And we've had so many timeline merges in the last 2 weeks that if you're out of alignment, this is no surprise. It'll be fine. You'll be back in alignment in a way that best serves you and all your gifts and talents and capacity as a conscious co-creator. You'll be in alignment because timelines are continuing to collapse so that you can answer this call from your soul, from Gaia, and from Source. Very dynamic. So the Divine Feminine is in hermit mode. She's in her emotions because she is doing the work in current energies to make sure that she has cleared and deconstructed the pain body that she's been living inside of in the second density as an embodied human being, whether feminine or masculine gender makes no difference. And she's got to make sure that she has released all of the information in that pain body. And right now that also includes the perspective of her beloved, who she may have become separated from in the timeline that she is clearing. And she needs to not get caught in the past, but to take the information and make sure that it is clear and accurate. So across the union within the inner dynamic between the two, she can communicate to him that she understands his perspective. And she also would like him to understand her experience and her communication of what happened to her on that timeline, and whether there was misinformation, whether there was error in perception, whether there was mistaken judgment, and whether there were actions that unfolded over which she had no control other than at the end point to take herself in her spirituality and sovereignty into a space of compassion and forgiveness. So that's where we are here. Now, as she is working with her clearing of her emotional body, she's finding that she has more and more clarity now coming out of that distorted emotional body. And so things are changing quickly and they're speeding up because the drag is gone. The drag on her energy field, the drag on her consciousness, and the heaviness, the weight of managing a multi-party, global, and yes, even intergalactic timeline. This is a lot of work for everybody involved. But now we're coming into clarity, and we're coming into new energy and stability with the 4 fire. And so the Divine Feminine energy is starting to feel that her internal emotional world will have an opportunity also to come into stability and to really feel and nurture and grow and develop and evolve inside her connection with her divine counterpart. She does not know how this will happen. She just knows that they are both answering the call. So we have out now the Chariot and the Four of Fire. This is moving quickly towards passionate, energized stability within the connection and within the work that needs to be done for the divine, masculine and feminine, co-creative mission work. Next out, we have Patience. This is a major arcana, and this is also supporting the call from the divine, from the source, which is saying, okay, let's move forward. Patience, patience, and more patience is required in answering this tremendous restructuring and clearing of all of creation, not just the 3D construct. So patience is absolutely a requirement as we are beginning to feel what it is like to adapt our biology and neurology to a new way of experiencing ourselves emotionally. This is new. So we need to be very patient with ourselves. We need to be patient with our divine counterparts, because they are also moving through their pain bodies, out of their pain bodies, and moving forward. Now, if you haven't watched the Meeting the Beloved episode that I will be posting the next day or so, sometimes these long presentations can be unbelievably slow to load, which is why readers who are focusing on astrology, love, and money will only go for 20 minutes, because the uploading and editing process is just it's time consuming. So here we have this going on now, patience, and we have balanced emotional feeling expression that is free of 3D construct pain body entrapment. Okay. Now we have next out the Star, and this is a reflection for both the divine masculine and the divine feminine to absolutely take the time and self-care that they need to be in balance within their own inner dynamic of union and absolutely maintain their connection to Source. This is very, very important right now. The Star is also about healing our connection to Source as we come out of binary code frequency. You can't come out of the binary code frequency or go through the ascension gates that we're being presented with the core of yourself and your core essence still trapped within a pain body that's been designed for you and handed to you literally at birth by the 3D construct. So your first bit of work is getting out of that situation. Okay. Next we have the Ace of Fire. So as we're doing this healing work will be provided new energy of passion and life energy and life force. This will be coming directly through Source, through Gaia, through your new emotional body that has been freed from the 3D construct. So as you are really establishing yourself now firmly in 5D frequencies and above, your life force is going to be supported. So it's a process of having a passion for not only regeneration, but moving forward into your mission work. Now next out, I'm going to bring these two out together. We have the masculine energy coming into the reading first as the conscious co-creator, and then as the emperor. So not only does he have all of the elements of Gaia's elements, earth, air, water, fire, he also has a relationship with the ethers, and he can ask to have these elements join with him in a conscious co-creation that is going to benefit himself the collective and the project of reorganizing all of source creation. Now, this is the emperor, and the emperor represents the wisdom and the capacity of all four kings of each of the four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. This is what the emperor embodies, and this is what the physical embodiment of the divine masculine is integrating right now, having that much power, even as he is stepped down to a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 balance with source, divine feminine, and divine masculine, and adapting and understanding that this is actually the real power that's been missing in his life. And being able to be a conscious co-creator with that much power has been missing in his life. And now he's coming to recognize that it is available to him, and he is stepping into that to take care of regenerating his own life purpose process. So that's incredibly beautiful and powerful. Now, in answer to the call, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is showing that the energies, the current energies, are integrating in a way that has changed another timeline. So this is indicative. When I see the Wheel of Fortune come out, this is a signal to me that we're in another timeline collapse and merge. And the divine masculine is supporting this, and he may have just recently learned how to actually do the work, the energy work of collapsing and or adjusting and or merging and or creating a timeline. That's part of new skills on the new earth, new timelines. Now, coming out next to this change in timeline, we have the Three of Earth, which is collaboration, which is standing still, taking a pause, appreciating what's going on around you in your physical environment, and looking at the building materials, at the co-creative materials that you yourself can see are available to you, so that you know what you need to ask for as a conscious co-creative process from Gaia and her elementals. And then lastly, we have out the Messenger of Water. And so there's a tremendous amount of emotional communication happening within this process, where we have the earth is now communicating with the water, and this is important for what's going on in the earth of your physical body, the earth energy meeting the water energy in your body. This is for both divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, and the last two cards out for this first part of the reading, we now have the Ace of Earth, because the divine feminine is feeling the frequency shifts in her, where she's recognizing that now she also has a new opportunity to come into a relationship with the new earth, as she's letting go of the old 3D construct, dying earth. She needs to have a new opportunity to continue her ascension journey with Gaia as she answers that call. And then lastly, we have out the Queen of Air. So this is moving up into the domain of causal, what causes, what is the template, the new information, the new blueprint that we are responding to, and we are restoring the divine original blueprint. And then of course here we have a true pair. We have the union of these two very capable energies that are recognizing and seeing things from a much broader perspective and a much higher understanding of what it is that they are doing, what it is they are being together, and how they can nurture and support each other in this very dynamic challenge that they've taken on to be part of restoring source creation as something new, something none of us have ever experienced before. Okay. All right. Now, I do have a few guidance cards that I will share with you before I go into the extended reading. The first one we have out is by the book, and the question is, whose book? And the answer should be your own DNA-activated living library. This is the book that you are responding to when you're answering the call of being in sacred union. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here. Hopefully you can see these cards. Next we have out the being flexible, because this is how we have to hear the call and response. It's a dance. We have to remain nimble. We have to be able to shift perspectives very quickly, and this often requires, both for divine masculine for you and for you divine feminine, this requires being nimble with forgiveness and compassion, because that will help you shift your perspective quicker than anything, when you can simply let go and see and respect, and then generate forgiveness and compassion for whoever needs it, including yourself, as you're shifting perspectives to consciously co-create within the collective. Next we have we have loyal heart. And this is just an encouragement for you to recognize that it is your heart center that is your connection both to Gaia now and to Source co-creation. This happens in the loyalty of your own open heart, your own open heart chakra. This is where your true, divine, authentic power is now resonating. It is not in your solar plexus anymore. Next we have out milk and honey. So once you reach the resonance where you understand that your heart chakra is the new, literally your new connection to Gaia ascending and to Source, calling back to 0 point all of the creation that we are in, that we're aware of in our waking consciousness. We're returning to the beautiful, beautiful energy of milk and honey, sweetness and nourishment. So this is available to us, and we just simply have to open to receive it and be also willing to share it and give it to others. And then lastly, we have go the distance. So those of you who are on the journey, you know that every time you think, I can't do anymore, I can't possibly do anymore, how is that going to happen? And you find that this kind of energy, stability, and a new renewed passion coming from Source energy will lead you forward, so that you are going to go the distance, and you will be able to get through each and every ascension gate that will take you back into original Source creation and the original ascended version of Gaia as a conscious planetary being. All right, so that is the end of the general reading. I hope this has helped you. I know it's challenging to follow these current energies when you don't have an astrological sign to latch on to, when you don't have a fixed timeline to latch onto, and when you no longer have the old dysfunctional emotional body and its insistence on the limitations of the possibilities of relationship. You no longer have that to latch onto, when you're on the sacred union journey. So if this is where you just head for your own Living Lessons library, your own activated DNA, and you have time today to continue to be aware of who you are in this journey, and you have time just every now and then, just resonate with your heart chakra towards your divine counterpart, whether you've met them or not, and just quickly, it's just like a little hug. Just a quick hug that says, I'm thinking of you, I'm aware of us, I'm thankful for you, and here I am. And if you need me, just tap me back. I'll find a way. I'll find a way to be present for you, as you are finding a way to be present for me in your complex multidimensionality that is now merging more and more and more and more with your physical body, your cells, and your DNA. All right. That's it. And if you're going to go on to the extended reading, we're going to look more at what are some of the assets and challenges that you're going to be tapping into, probably as the current energies roll and new waves of energy move in and timelines again begin to shift. I'm going to go into what is available for you to rely on as a resource as you're coming into those dynamics. So the link for the extended is in the description box below. Those are on Vimeo. However, if you like the way I read, if you like this jazz of freestyle intuitive reading, you can join me on Patreon. There's a link in the description box. And when you join at the Sacred Union Energy, you do gain access to all of the extended readings, and instead of paying $7 for each one, you can see all of them for $10 a month, and I always am uploading those the last week of each month. You'll find other resources there as well. My Wisdom Body course is there for you as well, and you can become a patron at that level, and there will be a new cycle of the Wisdom Body beginning September 1st. So also check that out, and be sure to stop by our website. The website is listed below, and I can't recommend more. You have no idea what a profound, valuable help the Source Solutions essences that we have, my soul group has produced together. These are frequencies direct from Gaia, direct from Source. And if you're in that transition still and you're really working to do the last of cleaning up your emotional body, please do check out our website and check out the shop. All right, that being said, adios. Thank you for stopping by. Please do like, share, and comment. I'll get back to you if you leave a comment. I do appreciate your coming, and I'll see you in the extended.